criminals that they're bringing in, these mercenaries. The stories that have come out of these mercenaries, the regime immediately denied this and said, nonsense, this did not happen. Yet we've seen our brothers who left and crossed the border into Egypt confirm these allegations, confirm the bloodshed. And here we are, a fellow Libyan spoke to us from Benghazi who was a pilot who actually first-hand experience. Before we came on air, I was speaking to a friend in Tripoli, and he was giving me the reaction to the speech tonight. Immediately after the speech, there was some gunfire to show that they are still in the city.
Yes.
But skirmishes are going on in certain areas of Tripoli, but generally calm.
All right.
None of the attacks like we saw the night before.
Okay, Hussam Al-Gharyani, thank you very much for your thoughts.
I thank you, and thank you for the opportunity for being here.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much. Well, moving on, and a Libyan naval vessel is in waters near Malta, and we can find out why and speak to Al Jazeera's Cal Perry. So, Cal, why is that?
Well, Doreen, it's unclear at this point. We know that this ship is somewhere off the coast of Malta. We know that the Italian Air Force is keeping a close eye on this ship. They actually sent 5 fighter jets down to keep an eye, see what it was doing. It's two of one possibilities. Either it's defecting or, potentially worse, this is Gaddafi setting up basically a front line here with Malta and Italy. I want to echo what our guest just said. I've been speaking to people here at the airport as they've been able to get out of Tripoli. These flights very rarely getting out of Tripoli. More often than not, planes are circling above. They're not being allowed to land. People just getting off the plane telling me mercenaries in Land Rover vehicles driven by soldiers from the Libyan army, and the mercenaries speak no Arabic, they said, and they're shooting at anything that moves. I spoke to a gentleman literally 5 minutes ago. He said the situation in Libya is, quote, catastrophic. He said they're just opening indiscriminately at the civilian population on the ground here. He said it was absolutely terrifying. He said he was lucky to get out alive. Now, of course, here in Malta, the concern is how to get foreign citizens out. And here to Malta, the governments are having huge difficulties. We've just heard from the Irish government saying they are sending planes. But of course, the question is, will they actually be able to land? Now, on the diplomatic front, we found out from a senior official here that there was a meeting actually on Sunday in Brussels. And to give you an idea of how this is shifting into a security situation, the nations met, 27 European Union nations, only 2 thought that sanctions should be brought against Libya. The other 25 basically said, no, it's a bad idea. We still have citizens on the ground. Obviously, this is becoming a security issue. What if something happens to them?
Cal, has there been any contact that's been made with this vessel?
None that we know of at all, and that's one of the big issues here, especially when you talk to the government here, and you can see behind me people literally getting off this charter flight just minutes ago. But when you speak to government officials here, they say the problem is because the situation is so chaotic, because the government is basically dissolving. We were at a protest outside the Libyan embassy this morning. Protesters were calling for the end of Gaddafi's rule, and people from within that Libyan embassy came out, defected into the protest, started protesting against the very embassy they were just working for. So the big problem that everybody has here, especially the Italian military, which is very concerned that this could turn into a security issue. The concern on their part is they have nobody to pick up the phone and call. They have nobody to ask, what is this ship doing off the waters of Malta, Doreen?
And Cal, we're just getting reports, just looking at our sister channel, Al Jazeera Arabic, who's reporting that 2 Libyan vessels are now, in fact, in the waters in Malta. Do you know anything about this? It's just coming in.
No. Yeah, this has sort of been swirling rumors all day. We know of one ship. We know the Italians are using a base Trapani, which is an old World War II base that the Americans used. There's so many connections that could be made to World War II. Churchill called Malta a floating aircraft carrier that could not be sunk. That's what people are trying to get back to. These ships we've been hearing are coming. But again, the big question is, why are they coming? Are they coming to defect, or are they coming to set up some kind of a perimeter for the Libyan government? We heard a rumor that one of these ships, they were tossing their weapons over the sides of the ships. But again, these are unconfirmed reports. We're basing this on what we're hearing from senior intelligence sources, senior military sources inside the Italian Air Force, who are basically saying we have to scramble pilots, get them up in the air, get them down south so they can actually get physical eyes onto these ships, Doreen.
All right, Cal Perry talking to us there from Malta, updating us on these vessels that appear to be in the waters there. Thank you very much. Now we can speak to Nasir Amir, he's a Libyan pilot and a private consultant to Afriqiya Airlines. Are we speaking to him? All right, we do have him on the telephone. Tell me what you saw on the plane that you were piloting.
Well, I just told you what I have seen. And I just want to say that a lot of Libyan pilots at that day, and maybe continuously, because I left 2 days ago the country, and they're still doing these shuttle flights in and out, but I think they cannot fly anymore to the south, to the east. And what they can do now is to bring some missionaries from Africa, and this is what they do. And I urge the international society to stop Afriqiya from crossing the Libyan borders anymore, because they are bringing people from outside to Libya to kill the Libyan people. At least you can make this kind of sanction. I urge the international society. The other thing I say to my colleague pilots on Afriqiya Airlines, I tell them, please switch off your telephones. Don't listen to Sabri Shadi. Don't listen to that man. Don't answer anybody. They will not find you in Tripoli, because Tripoli is falling down. And just let the airplane stay on the ground, and then this guy will be paralyzed. You are the one who are giving him kind of life by those missionaries. If you stop flying from in and Tripoli, and in the military, yes, he has some airplanes, but we have some Libyans in the militaries. They will land their airplanes somewhere and they will never fly back. I'm sure the Libyans, they are very proud of what is happening now, and they will not follow him. And I urge them, don't be afraid. I am, and everybody might lose his job, of course, doesn't matter. Now to Libya, we have to pay the price to Libya, our country. This guy has stolen everything from us. Now we have to be real Libyans. We have to be faithful to Libya. It's a shame on us. Some people, young guys, they die they fight, they kill them, and they keep going to the fire until they just came over what they call Fadid Umar in Benghazi, and now they will do this in Tripoli, I'm really sure. And I just want to say something about what I heard about Gaddafi's call to the, what they call him, the parliament. And he is making some people, I know them, one of the judges, and the first name is Saleh Mustafa Al-Barghati or Baira. This is my cousin, and I'm urging him not to respond to this guy. Libya is now free. Don't respond to this guy, because those people, they're just repeating what Gaddafi has said in his speech. So please don't listen to him. Libya is free now. He is surrounded in Bab al-Azazia. He is surrounded. He's falling down. I was 2 days ago in Tripoli, and I used to pass through MIT, the air base in Tripoli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nasir, thank you very much for that. I'll just have to cut you off and go straight to New York, where the deputy Libyan ambassador is speaking. Let's listen.
Libya. Certainly the people have no arms, and I think the genocide started now in Libya, and I think the code was the Gaddafi. The Gaddafi statement was just a code for his collaborators to start